I'm here with Claire Weber and Frances Pollock, and we are going to chat about their upcoming concert. Go! Would you like to tell us a little bit about the main character in your piece?
Sure.
And,
Sure.
You mentioned, both of you mentioned that she apologizes to and for her creations, and just talk a little bit about that idea and where that comes from and what that might mean for the female voice.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first lines of the poem are, "Sorry, excuse me, I'd like to plant my limbs in the coals of young galaxies." She starts off the poem right away apologizing. Mm-hmm. And the way that I have said it is that she is amidst this very mechanical, very male sounding to me, kind of mass of very mechanical, massive sound. And she's trying to insert herself into that conversation, into that texture. Mm. And she starts off by apologizing, but she's God. I mean, like, she is responsible for that sound mass and that sound cloud. And I thought it was very important. If in the score, I thought it was very important that I didn't actually set those words, that I put them above the lines, because they shouldn't be there. It should be a poem about her creating, and it should be a poem about her empowering this creation, and instead she's apologizing for it. And so God's lines, whenever she apologizes, are above the instrumental lines in the score. Yeah. But how do you feel about apologies and apologizing? Do you ever apologize?
I apologize all the time. I think that we're just conditioned to apologize more because, the more articles I read about this, it's that women have a lower bar for when some behavior might be considered offensive, whereas men's bar is much higher. So as soon as something happens, like I open the door into somebody, I say sorry, and clearly that's deserved. But if I trip over something that was there anyway, like a door frame, and I say sorry, first of all, who am I saying sorry to? It's like, well, why is that my gut instinct? And the same thing with excuse me. We say excuse me or sorry or some form of apologizing just as a basic instinct. It's our basic response, and it's been something that's been trained into us somehow, whether it was our families or it was people around us or it was social media or TV or movies or whatever it is. It's just something that women are conditioned to do much more frequently than men.
I feel like men are trained to take up space, and women are trained to take up as little space as possible, so that they and so I kind of wonder if that's part of the reason that we are constantly apologizing, because
we feel like we're out of place in a way.
Yeah, or that
in someone's way.
Or just trying to be smaller.
Yeah. Well, and Frances and I have talked about this as tall women.
It's a thing.
There's a complex.
Oh my gosh, the number of people who feel like it is their job, their right, their only point of conversation with me to tell me that I'm tall. My goodness, you're so tall. That is quite a thing. That is. Thank you for pointing that out.
How do you respond to that?
Well, and my inclination is to apologize.
Yeah.
For something that I absolutely can't do anything about. And that's kind of scarring. That's something that really gets into your psyche.
Yeah.
That you're not supposed to be tall. You're not supposed to be big or brazen or bold. You're supposed to be what everyone else wants you to be.
So in that same vein, the idea, first of all, of God being female or feminine is not the usual narrative in most of the major religions in the world. So first of all, there's that curveball for you.
Mm-hmm.
But then thinking about it through the feminine perspective, being conditioned as female, whatever you identify as, you have that feeling of, or compulsion of having to apologize all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's something that's talked about all that often. Although there were like ads recently that popped up where people started talking about it more. But it's not something that I think we necessarily think about that much, and then people from another perspective probably don't even notice it.
But there's the line in Vanessa's text that says, my breath was too loud, it hushed the gurgle of your rock. And I think that's such a telling line, you know, that even her breath is too much noise, is too invasive.
Right, her need for, well, her necessities for existence are too brazen.
Yeah.
And in the face of
Too
other
bold.
things.
Yeah. And it's God. Like,
Mhm.
like she is responsible for all of this, and yet kind of the patriarchy, I don't want a better word than that, but the patriarchy of it all, just the system is just so unallowing of her to be organic and to be herself.
Yeah.
Well, Claire and Frances, thank you for joining us and having coffee table discussion.
Absolutely. And we'll hope to see you on Saturday, May 21st at 7:30 p.m. at the Baltimore War Memorial. Tickets are available at wmaibaltimore.org. And you can find out more information on my website, clairegallowayweber.com. We look forward to seeing you then.